a bowl of noodles for 11 Malaysian ringgit, has moved many Fuzhou expatriates to the point of tears. The stall isn't run by a young chef, but by a Fuzhou grandfather who has been in Nanyang for 30 years. Relying on this one traditional fried noodle dish, he turned an ordinary noodle stall into a rare, bustling local institution. What's even more remarkable is that it's not just fried noodles here. There's also Fuzhou-style meat dumplings adapted to local tastes, and seafood soup. But what really keeps people coming back is the irresistible aroma of lard that hits the table immediately. How exactly is the soul of this Fuzhou fried noodle created bite by bite? To get the flavor right, the first step isn't the noodles. It's getting the charcoal fire just right. Every day when he starts work, the grandfather fills the stove with charcoal, slowly building up the heat. Next comes rendering the lard. But how does this block of white fat turn into the flavor backbone of the entire bowl? Once the lard hits the pan, the aroma changes instantly, because authentic Fuzhou fried noodles cannot do without this solid lard fragrance. Whether that fragrance holds doesn't depend on luck, but on the quality of the lard and careful control of the heat. His spatula moves continuously, stirring back and forth, to ensure the lard heats evenly. As the temperature rises, the fat slowly melts. The white solid gradually disappears, and the aroma thickens. Before long, the lard is fully rendered, and the once white fat turns into golden, crispy bits. When the timing is right, the grandfather pours the lard into a container to drain, saving the crispy bits to use in later dishes. This process not only develops the aroma, but also builds the structure of the noodles. Just after rendering the lard, he moves straight to stir-frying the noodles. The most seductive part of fried noodles is the wok hei, the unique flavor that only a hot wok can impart. Both the lard aroma and the fresh taste of the ingredients must come together within minutes. So how does he layer these flavors? First, a little lard for the base aroma. Then minced garlic is spread out, and the heat releases its spicy fragrance instantly. Next go the shrimp and slices of pork, followed by a splash of soy sauce along the wok's edge, bringing the aroma to the next level. He tosses the wok a few times, quickly cooking the pork through, then adds a splash of water, not to dilute, but to preserve the meat's tenderness. Next, cabbage and Shanghai greens go in, followed by a touch of dark soy sauce, to enhance color and taste. All the ingredients tumble rapidly over high heat, the rhythm of the wok reaching its peak. The noodles that can stand up to this flavor? They are the slightly thicker yellow alkaline noodles. Once in the wok, they absorb every bit of the sauce, and the wok is immediately covered, steaming the noodles slightly. When the lid comes off, a final splash of soy sauce. Then another round of high-heat stir-frying. The noodles are tossed, lifted, and pressed, allowing the wok hei to rise with the charcoal heat, and the soy aroma intensifies. By the time the noodles are fully coated, their color deepened. They've absorbed not only the seasoning, but also that unique smoky flavor from the charcoal fire. Many people remember this bowl not just for its low price. A bowl of Fuzhou noodles with lard aroma and crispy bits offers more than flavor, it delivers a sense of home. For those far from home, a single bite of these hot noodles can pull them back to Fuzhou. And all this for just 11 ringgit, about 18 renminbi. A bowl with wok hei, fragrance, and nostalgia is hard not to fall in love with. Crispy roast pork, a traditional Cantonese siu mei dish, is not only a flagship in the world of roast meats, but has also secured a spot as a beloved national delicacy in Malaysia. In Kuala Lumpur, there's a small, inconspicuous roast meat stall. Despite its modest storefront, it's repeatedly praised by diners year after year. The owner has won acclaim mainly for two items, roast pork and char siu. The owner hails from Guangdong. When he was young, he moved to Southeast Asia with his family. But he never let go of the flavors of home. Every day, roast meats come out of the oven batch by batch. And that familiar aroma became his way of planting roots in a foreign land. As for why so many Cantonese chose to settle in Southeast Asia years ago, if anyone knows, please do tell me. To maintain the quality of his roast pork, the owner often repeats 3 words, no compromises. Pork belly must be bought fresh daily. The fat-to-lean ratio should be clearly layered. The meat must have elasticity. The fat must be fragrant, but not greasy. Everything is made and sold the same day, nothing is kept for tomorrow. Fresh pork belly is first blanched in hot water. This isn't to cook it, but to remove blood and any off odor. Afterward, the meat is neatly laid flat on a board, sprinkled with coarse salt. Then the skin is pounded with a special hammer. This seemingly simple step actually requires skill. The skin must ripple slightly under the hammer, with a clear rhythm and even pressure, enough to loosen the skin without breaking it. This step lays the foundation for the crispy outer layer later. Next, the meat is secured in the traditional way, with just two sturdy metal skewers, one end through the meat, the other hooked onto the rack. This ensures stability during handling and in the oven, while allowing even heat distribution during roasting. The pork belly is then hung in the oven to meet the charcoal flames. The stall insists on fruitwood charcoal, no electric ovens. This method is simple, slow roasting to develop color and coax out flavor, while the roast pork slowly transforms in the oven. The second star, the signature char siu, is being prepared. The ingredients are meticulous. First, a bottle of Shaoxing Huajiao wine to remove any gamey taste and enhance aroma. Next, meat tenderizer is added for a softer texture. Then comes the boldest step, 7 bowls of white sugar. The amount seems staggering, but it balances the saltiness of soy sauce and the spice of the seasonings, giving the char siu a smooth, mellow taste. Next, light and dark soy sauces are combined to season and color the meat, followed by a generous addition of minced garlic. As it's mixed, the meat's color deepens, and a sweet aroma fills the air. The marinated char siu is then hung in the oven. One batch can roast 4 racks at a time, and the stall goes through 6 or 7 rounds daily, working non-stop from morning till night. Meanwhile, the golden roast chicken is quietly being prepared. The chicken is a freshly slaughtered free-range bird, with firm meat. It's first blanched in hot water to tighten the skin for a better appearance, and to remove any off flavors, making the taste cleaner. Then the cavity is filled with coarse salt, allowing the seasoning to penetrate from within, before the whole chicken is hung steadily in the oven, letting heat slowly enter the meat. Back to the roast pork. After long hours of charcoal roasting, each piece develops fine charred streaks on the surface. At first glance, it might look burnt, but the chef knows exactly what he's doing. With a gentle scrape, the charred layer is removed, revealing the golden, crispy skin beneath. The fat is rendered perfectly, instantly changing the perception of burnt to crispy perfection. Meanwhile, the char siu enters its final stage. The chef brushes a special sauce evenly over each piece, allowing the thick glaze to seep into the meat's fibers, enhancing the aroma further. After glazing, the char siu returns to the oven, allowing the sweet sauce to fully penetrate. The result, a slightly crisp exterior with tender, juicy meat inside. The honeyed juices flowing with every bite. The roast chicken now reaches its final step. The staff carefully lowers the dried chicken into a pot of scorching oil, instantly creating a golden, sizzling wave. In just a few minutes, the entire chicken is golden and shiny. The skin tight, the meat tender, as if pampered. Just in time for the lunch rush. The small stall is quickly surrounded by customers. Even delivery riders pause in awe at the line. Though modest in appearance and simple in decor, the owner's standards for ingredients are famously strict. The pork belly, for instance, must have just the right fat-to-lean ratio, with perfectly even marbling, worthy of both his eyes and his customers' plates. The chef slices the roast pork, a crisp, golden crack. Juicy layers of tender meat, perfectly balanced, not greasy. The char siu is red and glossy, soft and flavorful, the sweet aroma spreading with each bite. The whole fried chicken is cut in half, then into bite-sized pieces, each piece wrapped in golden crispy skin. Juicy meat inside, impossible to resist. So the question is, this crispy roast pork, reborn in a foreign land? How does it compare to the classic crispy roast pork back home? Which one wins your heart?